Public comment.
We
Ellen.
do. Helen Thompson.
Ellen, if you don't mind, step up here to the microphone, please.
I apologize for my cold.
Oh, that's fine. No problem.
And it is just a cold, if anybody's wondering. So I want to thank you, Chairman Daley, for giving me a moment with the mic. I'm here this morning on behalf of the citizens that live on Cabbage Ridge Road. I've been asking a number of times, Mr. Townsend, in email, in fact 3, and I never got a response from you. So I felt like my only action was to come here. To come here. So I would like to know what the plan is to repair and resurface Cabbage Ridge Road. It's been at least 7 years.
Is that it?
Anything else? All right, he can address you in his, most time we address the answers in when they do their commissioner's report at the end, so.
Very good, thank you.
And did they answer, and another question, you had the question about the grant. Did they get everything cleared up on that kind of?
Yeah, so I am interested in being part of whatever body of citizens that are gathered as you plan to put fiber over on the west side and the northwest side of the county. I've put fiber in, I've helped them cross state roads. I know what it takes to get that done, but I want to make sure that when we lay that fiber over there, we're hitting the maximum number of homes so that our kids can get a good education, because the internet, as you know, is critical. But also, if you want the kids to stay here in Limestone County and live here, pay taxes, they have to be able to have decent internet access to get a job. It's just the way it is.
Yes, ma'am. And when we get all that started, we'll get back with you on that. Thank you, Helen.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else, Helen?
Yes. Robert Kaler.
Mr. Taylor, if you don't mind, step up here, please. You doing okay today?
Good morning. My name is Robert Kaler. I live on Ennis Road on the south side of the Woodland subdivision. And I want to express my concerns regarding how the developer Hamlin Homes has blocked the natural flow of drainage off of Ennis Road, east of McCully Mill, as well as the entire south side of the Woodland subdivision. I know, talking to Mr. Barksdale on the phone, that this is on the county's radar, but I wanted to come and personally emphasize the importance of this issue and how it has already begun impacting the neighborhood. With the rains that we've had last week, as well as the rain this morning, the ditches are already well over half full, and it's not draining anywhere. The water is becoming stagnant. Mosquitoes are starting to develop there. Also, the dirt that he has brought in on his land is in some places higher, where the natural drainage flow is higher than Ennis Road itself. So it's easy to see, even without going out there with a survey, transit, and level, it's easy to see that when the rains come and Ennis Road floods over, that water is going to back up, not just into my area, my yard, but also the yards of neighboring neighbors on the south side of the Woodland subdivision by those borrow pits. And my fear is that that's going to flood into their yards. It's going to block up their septic systems, and that, of course, could lead to water contamination. So that said, I implore the County Commission, working with the state as necessary, to apply pressure or even legal action against Hamlin Homes to reverse the damage that he has done and restore the natural drainage through his property. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'll get Mark can address all those questions after the meeting to you on the address. He's the engineer. The county engineer will be the one that addresses that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Have anybody else?
That's all.
All right, thank you. Appreciate everybody's public comment. And like I said before, if anybody ever wants to make a public comment that's not able to come, you can make a public comment by email. We have, by law. So I mean, if anybody ever has a public comment and needs to make, just making a public notice there if somebody ever needs to. All right, Ellen, would you please call roll?
Mr. Samet.
Here.
Mr. Barksdale.
Here.
Commissioner Black.
Here.
Mr. Townsend.
Here.
All right, thank you. Commissioner Townsend, you'll lead us to pledge today?
Sir.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Always good to hear the pledge. All right, first thing on here, I'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes from Did we call roll, Ellen? Did we call roll?
Yes, we did.
Okay, I want to make sure. I didn't mark it off. I was sitting there thinking about the pledge ahead of myself. All right. I'd ask for a motion to approve minutes May the 16th of 2022. Do I have such a motion?
I make a motion, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Sammet. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Barksdale. Do I have any discussion with the minutes? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Mr. Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Barksdale?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Townsend?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Second on here, I'll ask for a motion to approve claims in the amount of $2,587,689.23. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Townsend. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Barksdale. Any discussion with this amount? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Mr. Townsend?
Aye.
Commissioner Barksdale?
Aye.
Mr. Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Do we have any conflicts of interest or anything coming from the commission today? Everybody's silent. I'll take that as a no. First thing on here, resolutions and orders. I'll ask for a motion to approve a resolution to provide all funds necessary to the employees' retirement system to cover the cost of a one-time lump sum payment as provided for in Section 2 of Act 229 of the regular session of the 2022 legislators for those eligible retirees and the beneficiaries of the deceased retirees of the Limestone County Commission. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Black. Do I have a second?
Second it.
Second by Commissioner Sammet. Any discussion with this amount? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Barksdale?
Aye.
Commissioner Townsend?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Next on here, under contracts, agreements, and grants, I'll ask for a motion to approve a contract retroactive April the 1st of 2022 through May the 31st of 2023 between TARCOG and the Limestone County Commission to maintain the existing insurance and benefit consulting program known as the State Health Insurance Program, which is SHIP. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Sammet. I think Commissioner Townsend made a second. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Townsend?
Aye.
Commissioner Barksdale?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Budget revisions, we have two today. We have one for the, from the County Commission for the retired budget, a budgetary fund balance for the retirement, and then we have a Parks and Recs, and that'll be for the dock down at Calford. Either to have a motion to approve these two budget revisions.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Black. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Townsend. Any discussion with either one of them? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Townsend?
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Barksdale?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. We have no emergency purchases. Board appointments, we have, on first one on here, I need a motion to approve to reappoint Henry Pollux, Jerry Adams, and Jeff Hodges to the E911 Board with a term ending June 8th of 2026. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Sammet. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Barksdale. Any discussion with anybody? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Barksdale?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Townsend?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Second on here, I'll ask for a motion to approve to appoint Terry Richardson to the Alabama Mountain Lakes Tourist Association. This membership will replace Michelle Williamson. So do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Barksdale. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Townsend. Any discussion with this appointment? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Barksdale?
Aye.
Commissioner Townsend?
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Under award of bids, we have none. Personnel action. First on here will be a motion to approve to remove 2 career tech grade 1s and add 2 temporary part-time facility ground maintenance workers at a grade 8 to the maintenance facilities and grounds staffing plan. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion. I'll second.
Got a motion by Commissioner Sammet. Have a second by Commissioner Black. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Barksdale?
Aye.
Commissioner Townsend?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Second on here, I'll ask for a motion to approve the job description for a temporary part-time facilities and ground maintenance worker. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Barksdale. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Townsend. Any discussion? No discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Barksdale?
Aye.
Commissioner Townsend?
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Third on here, I'll ask for a motion to promote Cameron Wright from Equipment Operator 2 to Strapping Crew, Equipment Operator 3 in Engineering Department, effective June the 27th of 2022. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Black. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Barksdale. Any discussion? No discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Barksdale?
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Townsend?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Fourth on here, I'll ask for a motion to approve to transfer Justin Romine from Equipment Operator 3 in District 4 to the Striping Crew, Equipment Operator 3 in the Engineering Department, effective June the 27th of 2022. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Townsend. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Black. Any discussion? No discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Townsend?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Barksdale?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. 5 through 8, we discussed this in the work session. They're all the same positions. We're going to take them all up one motion. First on here, I ask for a motion to approve to hire Susan Jacobs, Susan Mandel, Lanita Smith, and Johnny Stevens as part-time van drivers at the Limestone County Council on Aging. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Motion by Commissioner Barksdale, second by Commissioner Sammet. Any discussion with any one of the four? No discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Barksdale?
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Townsend?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. I'll ask for a motion to approve the merit increases listed below. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Black. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Townsend. Any discussion with anybody on there? No discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Townsend?
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Barksdale?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. We don't ever see our name on the merit increases.
I know it.
We must not be doing too good. Well,
I probably
we might get a bad
I probably
evaluation.
wouldn't have qualified anyway.
I know we don't. We don't ever get our name on there. Part of being a luxury, being a salary. All right, so at this point, I turn it over to the engineer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We've got 3 subdivisions for your consideration today. Green Cove subdivision, this is a replat of Arts Corners, lots 7 through 11. This is a major subdivision for preliminary approval, creating 22 lots in District 2. It's approximately 725 feet north of Highway 72, east side of Cambridge Lane. Falwell subdivision, this is a minor preliminary and final, creating 1 new lot in District 2. On the north side of Nick Davis Road, west of Mooresville Road. And Spitzer subdivision, this is a minor for preliminary and final, creating 1 new lot in District 2 at 26389 Big Branch Lane.
All right. Danny, it looks like you got all of them.
Looks like I gotta make the motion, don't it?
Yeah, so I'll ask for a motion to approve the 3 subdivisions that's submitted by
I'll
Mr.
make-
Massey.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Barksdale. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Black. Any discussion with any one of the 3? No discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Barksdale?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Townsend?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. And under other business, we had it's on there, but we're gonna mark that off. They didn't get all of the list together on the insolvation, so that one's struck off. So, we have no scheduled public hearings. This time, report of officers. Commissioner Sammet?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We've got the Thatch Road Bridge opened up. We had to do a little more on the approaches than we expected, so it'll take a little more settling time probably, but right now we're into the settling time, and we'll get the riding surface on that as soon as we get that part done. Our chip seal projects are in wait right now. I think hopefully before the end of the month, we can get those in, and things are moving on. But that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Sammet. Commissioner Barksdale?
After our last meeting, I think, as a result of our audit, the auditors gave us an exit interview, and I believe the auditors stated it was a perfect audit. Emily Ezel has a history of perfect audit, so I would just like to recognize her and their staff. That's not an easy thing to do, and she habitually does it. So I appreciate her efforts on that. In District 2, we're bush hogging, so appreciate your consideration of our drivers, and we'd like to keep them safe. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Black.
Same thing on the audit. I'd like to thank Emily for all her dedication. We don't tell our employees sometimes enough that we appreciate what they do. And same thing, we started the maintenance, started cutting the sides of the roads, weed eating around stop signs, spraying around stop signs and stuff. So maybe maybe we can get caught up. I don't think you ever catch up, but you just got to just keep trying to do it. So that's it. That's all I've got.
Commissioner Townsend.
Chapman Hollow, I think we like the chip seal on that, and I think that project will be over. And it's been a long project, but we're about got that finished up. Hopefully, if the rain, maybe this week, they don't look good.
Toward the end of the week.
Maybe toward it. So, Dupree Hollow, they're still working on the bridge. I think they're making some progress down there. Hopefully, they'll get that knocked out. 7 Mile Post, I think we're going to come back and chip seal it, and then come back with a wearing surface after that. So hopefully, they can get that as quick as they can. Got a meeting tomorrow about recycling. I should know a little bit more about that, but the plan is we're going to try to move forward with some ideas on recycling. So hopefully we'll get that done maybe next week or the next couple of weeks, and we'll know a little bit more about that. Cabbage Ridge Road. That one is definitely on my radar. I know that we've got all these other projects going on, Ms. Thompson, but we've definitely got it on our radar of doing something to it. I promise you that. We got so many roads, and I'm just having to pick the ones that I can pick that I can do within our budget. So, but that one is on my radar. Hopefully, with this ARPA money, we're going to be able to do something. So, as soon as we get that turned loose, we're going to be able to do something with that road. Because, I mean, it is bad. I agree with you 100%. I drive that road quite regularly because it's close to my house. But it's going to be getting something done to it. I just can't give you a time frame on when. Hopefully very soon, maybe next summer. My budget's kind of maxed out right now on what we're doing. But I do send the guys up there quite regularly, check potholes. We fixed a couple cross drains.
I don't know if it's appropriate for me to comment now, but you need to do a better job of then patching it until you can resurface it. Because I'm telling you, the water is running down the roadway. It's crossing from one side to the other over the road. It's washing the road away. It's barely wide enough for 2 vehicles now when you meet someone.
Yeah.
And the edges are wearing away. It's becoming narrower and narrower.
Mr. Thompson, if you go, best thing to do is have a conversation with
Yeah,
you.
well, I'll talk to you afterwards.
After the meeting.
I've emailed you several times.
And I emailed you back, and then I stopped it because you just kept emailing me. I didn't have an answer to really give you anything on email, but I'll talk to you after the meeting. So, but anyway, that's all I've got.
Thank you, sir. First of all, last Monday we had the Memorial Day program. I know Ms. Thompson was big involved in this. They had a beautiful program there. I was supposed to be out of town that day, but I stayed just for that program. They had a great program there, and like I say, the Pledge Allegiance to the flag and all. Just remember this, Memorial Day and what it was for. And I guess y'all all read my email. My message over here. I was going to thank our staff and our employees, and like you said on the audit deal. It's not one person that does anything. We've got about 280 employees that work hard every day for this county. It's not us 5 guys sitting up here. It's those people behind the scenes that make this county work. And I can't thank them enough. And like I said, Emily and Ellen and all the people in the office, they are Johnny on the spot on everything, and they do a great job, and thank them for all they do. And like I said, so, it's the fame and glory to everything goes on in this county is the employees. They're what makes it work. They're what makes it work. So anyhow, with all that, I'm thanking everybody for being here today, and thank Commissioner Townsend. I told him that I had been so busy I hadn't really had time to meet with all these people about the recycling stuff, and I asked him would he meet with them and all this, and he's been working hard on that. So we're moving forward with all that, and we will adjourn until the 9 a.m. on Tuesday, June the 21st.